Hello, my name's Charles Dalton. I'm going to be talking about a 92 Fox, a petroleum supply specialist. Let's get this up. Alright. This is a very complex job in the military. It's very hard to understand. I'm just giving a brief explanation of this in 20 slides. Alright. Now, what is a 92 Fox? Like I said, it's a petroleum supply specialist. It's a fueler, pretty much. They ensure that the fuel is clean and it's up to specification. That way it can be distributed. It goes for any vehicle in the military as a 5K, a 2500 tank, which is our Hammocks, the 4Ks, and the Bobcats. These aren't the only things we can put fuel in. This is just a few of the things that we use. Now, a Hammond's a M978 that holds 2,500 gallons of fuel. It can recycle fuel. It has two lines that we can give out fuel. It has the safety equipment and it shows how much we put out as well. This is how we keep track of all of it. This is what the Hammond looks like. You got your fire tags, your unit number, has 8 wheels, your tank, extra lines, and a lot of other stuff on there. That's your batteries right there. Alright, this is the back end of the hammock. It's what it looks like. Both lines, your static line, a drip bucket, which is right here. This is your D1 valve. D1 adapter will go on the line. This is your odometer, and that's how you recycle and everything. You also have extra nozzles, a dump valve, an auxiliary, adapters for other uses, and your safety gear that you'll have on you to give to others that come up and pull up to get fuel from you. How do you get fuel in the tanks? There's two ways. Over the top has to go through your commander on that, but you can also go through the D1 valve, which will allow fuel to come in. Only put about 2,300 gallons in the tank to allow for expansion because it expands a lot. Now we use several different types of fuel, but the main three are DF2, MoGas, and JP8. DF2 is your diesel fuel, MoGas, commercial gas that you just put in your car, and you got your jet power gas, which all the vehicles use. This is the tank here that filters the gas. This is how we recycle it and make sure it stays clean using that D1 valve. Most of them have about 18 filters in it, and you do it for about 5 to 10 minutes. This is the filter actually right here. Alright, your safety gear, you're going to have gloves and goggles to make sure you don't get fuel on you and to keep static off. Your safety equipment, your static line, your drip bucket, and fire extinguisher. That way, if anything should happen, you can put a fire out, static line, get static away from the vehicles and stuff. Now, what we can do as 92 Fox is distribute fuel. We drive the trucks, we keep log of the fuel, we set fuel points and fuel lines. That means setting a whole line up where you're pushing fuel out a distance. Now the vehicles we give the fuel to can be Humvees, PLSs 5 tons, helicopters, pretty much any military vehicle, even your tanks. We give fuel to them as well if they take JP8. The commanders have small trucks, we give them MoGas for that. Now fuel points, they're just any point that has a fuel truck or a designated area that has just a nozzle there with a fuel line leading to it. That we use them in Iraq, Afghanistan, everywhere. Alright, fuel can be stored in pretty much A Hammett, a 5K, Blivets, tanks. Tanks can get as big as 25,000 gallons. As far as I know, the Blivets, they can hold about 10,000. Your 5K, they're just a tank off on its own. Now, the way we move them, we can move the Blivets with PLS. We just put them on the back end of it, and the truck drivers can move it. Bobcats will move your 5Ks, your 4Ks, anything like that. Just tanks with no truck on it. Fuel does not burn. It's actually the fumes that actually catch on fire. As long as the liquid's in there, it's not going to burn. Only the fumes can, and fuel does not blow up like you see in the movies. That's just made up. So, don't think that. Now, static lines help distribute static from tanks to a rod that we actually stick in the ground. Connects to the vehicle you're fueling as well. There's two static lines on a Hammett. You'll connect one to that rod and one to the vehicle, and that's how you distribute it. Now, what pretty much gave a briefing of all this. I've pretty much talked about the safety of it, what a 92 Fox is, about the Hammett some, how to recycle, what a 92 Fox pretty much can do. These are all the references, all my images. I've pretty much got through it. But like I said, I just briefly went through this. There's a lot more I could have said. Like, could have talked about the flash